Okay, so here is an episode of My Thoughts Out Loud. At the risk of sounding crazy, but it really doesn't sound too crazy, knowing what I know, that a lot of people actually do think about this type of stuff or whatnot. So here we go. I believe that everybody is telepathic. I think that telepathy is an ability that everybody has, and they just do not know how to access it or utilize it. But there are a lot of people that are out there in the world who really do know about this stuff, and they think about this and they're living it, but there's not many other people who could relate with them, so they don't talk about it or anything like that. But I think that this is something that is natural. I think that this is something that is normal, that we're just not aware of it. And those people who are not aware of it are those people who can be considered quote unquote unconscious, sleepwalkers, and they're very easily susceptible. But there are a lot of people who are aware that other people are trying to manipulate them or things of that nature, and that's where their telepathy gifts comes in at. People who are so there's some people who confess to be telepathic, and there's some people who are just empaths or so, which is really, if you think about it, is a form of telepathy. And that there are people who have feelings, notions, oomphs, things like that, and they're just not sure what it is. They just know they have it, and they have that gut feeling, and they go with it. So, that's something that when you think about all that terms, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But okay, so hit you with how I think, because I break everything down into scientific notations and stuff that I just kind of started naturally doing ever since I was in college. I was going for sociology, and I got into sociology classes, psychology classes, things of that. You start thinking about the mind and everything like that. But then I had a big event that hit me, dealing with the guy who was pure blood Allen, and knew the tricks of hoodoo, voodoo, and stuff like that. And he tried to jimmy my mind. He tried to fuck with my head. And me, I just couldn't accept the fact that I was dating a telepath. And he tried to do something with me, and I got away, and that's just it. I had to break that shit down. And so when it all comes down to it, listen to this, because this is really going to make a lot of sense. So you got to make sure that you continue to watch. If you're on TikTok, you got to make sure that you continue and go on to the next video. If you're on YouTube or whatever like that, just keep watching this video. Okay. So, when it all comes down to it, we already know that everybody has electromagnetic energy inside of them. Everything has an electromagnetic pulse. Everything has an electromagnetic radius. We know that things that appear to be solid are not really solid. Then when it gets down to it scientifically, they're vibrating at a higher rate that just makes them appear to be solid. So everything is vibrating. Everything has a frequency. Your electromagnetic energy is unique to you, but you send off an electromagnetic pulse that comes from your heart and is connected with your mind, your brain, etc., etc., etc. So you think about it. If you look it up, this is information you can look up. It's true. You think about it, okay, that makes sense. We're all connected and stuff, and it's because we feel each other. It's not just that we feel each other. We just all naturally have this ability. We're supposed to be able to communicate with each other telepathically and things like that. And this is how it works. Your electromagnetic pulse that you have, whatever emotions or thoughts or things that you are thinking, you're going through, you send that out through your individual frequency that gets put out into the world, and it's constantly going all the time around you. And whoever is around you or surrounds you or close to you, and some people have the ability to pick up far because they're more in tune, but everybody could be more into or less into, is what they choose to believe or so. But your signal gets put out into the world. And that's why, like, if you walk into a room and somebody's sad, they didn't tell you that they're sad. And really, they can have the same expression on their face, but you could feel that they're sad. This is something that is normal. You can feel it, okay? But think about this, okay? When you think about the thoughts that's inside of your head, have you ever thought about where the thoughts inside of your head come from? The thoughts inside of your head is a representation, is your representation of the energy that you are perceiving, that you're feeling. Either whether that energy is coming from you or that energy is coming from somebody else. Okay? It's your interpretation of that energy that you're perceiving. If you're completely unaware of everything that's around you, you're automatically just going to perceive those thoughts as just your thoughts. You have random thoughts that go on in your head and they're just in the background and stuff like that. And it just is what it is. Please continue to watch the video. If you're onto YouTube, just continue to watch this video. So you have random thoughts in your head, and it just is what it is. It just goes on around you and stuff like that, you know. But what that is the interpretation of the energy around you, whether it's coming from you or it's coming from somewhere else. If you don't never thought about this, those thoughts are just random thoughts that come in the back of your head. You go into a daydream about something or whatever. You know, you could be going to a daydream about all of a sudden just a vacation that you had. You're in the Bahamas and just, oh my gosh, that's great. And you come out of that daydream like, oh man, that's a great daydream. And reality, what could have been going on is the person in the car next to you is at that moment planning their trip to Jamaica or something like that, you know. But you just perceive this energy, and in your mind it translates to you however it could be translated in your mind, or so, you know. Because you ever notice that when you get around other people, you start to share the same wavelength, you start to share the same thoughts and stuff like that. It might not be exact, but you guys start to link up on the same wavelength. That's because you are coming in contact with that person's energy. You are coming in contact with the electromagnetic energy that they're putting off at that time, and you not realizing you are actually experiencing a telepathic ability event. But you don't think about that. You just, you know, you're having a good time. You and that person's on the same wavelength or whatever like that, you know, but you're intertwined with each other's frequency. Now, if you think about the thoughts that are in your head, when you think about it as an outside entity or like object or a gift or ability, you know, not just, oh, they're just thoughts in my head, but you got to really analyze where these thoughts come from and stuff. You know, you begin to realize that all those thoughts are not your thoughts, because the voice in your head rambles and talks when you control it sometimes. But how many times have your mind just rambled and you didn't even realize you was thinking about that? You didn't even realize where did that thought come from? What's going on? You have come in contact with somebody else's thoughts, and they're rambling, and they feel so passionate about what they're thinking about. That energy, that frequency is coming over to your mindset, and you start rambling in the back of your head. You're thinking you're doing it, but you're actually experiencing somebody else's thought pattern. You're experiencing a telepathic ability. You're telepathic. Everybody is telepathic. It's nothing special. We just have to learn how to access that ability. Thank you for watching.